All right, so we are at 3 o'clock. Let's call this meeting of the Churchill County Library Board of Trustees into order. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, so this brings us to our first point of public comment. Is there anybody that would like to make a public comment today?
Oh, she does. Look at she's racing.
Hearing none, we'll move on to a roll call of members. Do you want to start us off, Maddie?
Oh, I think my batteries are dead. Okay. Here, Maddie Cerna. Yeah, the light's not on.
Well, it doesn't work, but if you hit it, it should turn on. One more time.
Maddie Cerna.
Sari Kaler.
Ryan Swarzik.
Jessica Rowe?
Dr. Segura.
Okay, and we'll do a verification of the posting of the agenda.
Crystal Machado, for the record, the agenda was posted on the 15th of May between the hours of 8 and 11 at all the locations listed on the agenda in accordance with statutes.
Thanks, Crystal. And consideration and possible action regarding the approval of agenda as submitted or revised.
I'd like to make a motion to pass the agenda as submitted.
Excellent. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, so that's Sue as the motion and Ryan as the second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And consideration and possible action regarding approval of the minutes of the meeting held on April 24th, 2025. Do we have any discussion on those minutes that we need to do? Hearing none, I would be glad to entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second it.
All right, so Ryan as the motion and Sue as the second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. All right, so now we come to item 8, the presentation of awards. Are you ready?
Thank you for attending today. This was our first opportunity to meet with the school district and partner with them, so we are thrilled that you're here. I'm sorry, I have had a sinus infection all week. So what we're going to do is we're going to call your name up, the child's name up. They'll get a swag from the county and a gift card, and then we'll take pictures over there, and Ann will manage all of that. So there we go. We'll do names.
Photos one by one.
Thank you.
Parents are welcome to come up when your kid's name is called, and then we'll do, everybody's saying that we'll do a group photo with just the kids and the board members.
You do names.
Okay. Let's see. The only one I didn't see grab a name tag. Do we have Lincoln here? He got stuck because of the funeral procession.
Oh,
Gotcha.
we wondered about that.
Okay. Well, he'll, you can take his for him. That's fine. I suppose we will start with Lucas, representing the high school. So the way that we did this contest, we had one winner from each school chosen by the board through a vote, and then the library staff decided on a sixth winner. So we've got 5 of the 6 represented here. And then let's see, from the middle school, Giselle? Stacy. From Numa, we had 2 winners. Let's see, one was Angie and Avery. And our final winner from EC Best, who has not made it yet, is Lincoln. So we will give you his award, and you can give it to him. They're related. It's okay, don't worry.
Will you guys all stand in front of the sign for me, please? Thank you.
Trustees, will you come down and stand around the kids and behind the sign, please?
Oh, yeah, did you watch my car? I was the first car that got washed.
Stacy, would you join us as the school district?
Oh,
Come on.
Yes, please. Yes, that would be wonderful.
Somebody's gonna send you a picture. Give me your camera.
Thank you.
And this young man was washing my car.
Dr. Segura, you're gonna need to come in front of the camera or something. There you go. And then squeeze in more this way, more towards the, yes.
There you go. There we go.
You're taller than me. And you're in the 4th grade? Do we get to make any comments?
Thank you.
Hey, you don't have to leave.
No, we're good. Thank you.
But you can.
Uh-oh, somebody just got.
Congratulations, everybody.
Lincoln just showed up.
Oh.
Lincoln just showed up.
Oh, we've just got Lincoln. Let's go ahead and bring him in and honor him. Yeah.
Smile.
Told him that too.
And if any of you would like the bookmarks, either from your family of the winner or any of them, I've got them here. Oh, awesome, yeah. And they'll all be down at the library.
So go to the library.
While everybody's getting settled and getting what they need, I just wanted to say thank you for all of that participation. It was lovely. And then we can move on to the Library Board of Trustees report.
I'd like to talk first.
What?
Hey, kids, thank you so much for coming. You are the heart of our library. Good job.
Does anybody else want to add any commentary for the Library Board of Trustees report?
I want to second what Sue just said. You guys are awesome. Love the bookmarks. Thank you guys for letting us be a part of this.
That's certainly been a lot more action than we've seen in a library board meeting for a minute. It's a lot of fun to have the kids come in. And now it's all quiet when they're gone. That's too bad.
I have another
Yeah,
board stuff.
yeah.
Sorry.
Go for it.
The CLA, since I'm the liaison or whatever, last month we talked about books, bites, and beverages, which Kathy, I think, is going to bring up later on. And we also talked about your program that you're doing tonight, Jessica Rowe, talking writing with writers. So I'm so excited about that. Any of you that want to come, definitely come and talk writing with writers. So it'll be so fun. That's all that the CLA did. I wanted to compliment Kathy and all of her staff. Tom, thank you for coming today and doing this. And I also want to thank Tom because anytime I want statistics or anything like that, he is right on top of it. And just so for my perspective, so I can see how the library is running, he just gives me the statistics and it's so wonderful. I also want to give a shout out to the JP officer, Nick. He is so excellent. He has really mellowed the library down and he's so good with the kids. He just connects with them on almost their level. So it's really exciting to have him be a member of the family, or the library, I'm sorry. I also wanted to compliment game night. My son and I, well, we went yesterday. We had gone a time before, but it was during spring break, so nobody was there except for us. But he tried to teach me chess that night, and it didn't work, but that's okay. But last night, he was playing on the computers, and after a while, I went to sit at this table, and this boy was there with a game of Jenga. And I asked him if he was going to play Jenga, and he said, well, if I can find anybody to play with. And so I said, well, what about me? Can you play with me? And he was so excited. We played a couple games together. Of course, I lost, but that's okay. And after we played a couple games, then my son came, and they started playing, and then this other little boy decided to sit with us, and I asked him if he wanted to play, and he was all for it as long as I wasn't playing with them. So it's just, I just want to reiterate how the library builds community and family, and I thank you for that, Kathy. Thank you so much. And I think that's all I have this time.
I appreciate that, Sari. Does anybody else have anything that they want to add to the report? I just wanted to extend my thanks to the library. We've just been through finals week over there at the college. Everybody was doing their research projects. Everybody was doing a lot of studying for their tests, and we just had our graduation yesterday. And so watching those graduates come across the stage here in Fallon is always a really emotional time for me. And I appreciate what the library has done, not only in offering access to some really important resources for those students so that they can be successful in what they're doing, but a lot of the students use that space to study. They use the resources of the library, like the computers, to get into things at hours where they may not have access to that. And so I think that that has been a really important thing for them and their families. So thank you so much for the work that you do.
Of course.
Just would you please let the WNC know, you know, I've been to this is my third graduation. Yesterday was by far the best. I mean, of course, we had a lot of kids, and it just, I got through without crying there. I cried from my car back to the high school.
I appreciate that, Sue. I appreciate what the county does and what the city does for the education and for the students. I think that we've got a really strong community. All right, so at this point, we can move to the library director's report. Kathy?
Thank you for letting us do the presentation today. That was really good. I have a hoopla update for you. I did a benchmark of every day in May at 7 a.m. to see what it was, and so here's some rough numbers. May 1st was $10.67 at 7 a.m., so we had only opened it up for 7 hours, and we had already spent $10. May 15th was $942.31, and today, before I got here, was $1,384.45, which about halfway through the month, we would be about $1,800. We are much more stable than we were last month and the month before, so I feel that I would like to leave that 15 limit checkout and the 2 caps that we capped. I'd like to leave that for another month and then have some more data to bring back to you. It's not giving me as much heartburn this month as it was last month, and so I think we figured it out, and I think we'll get to that sweet spot, but I feel much better about it this month. So that's the hoopla update. Let's see. The bookmark winners was, hugely important. Maria is starting to go to the Life Center twice a month for book checkout. She's hauling a case of books, a laptop, some library card applications. So we're trying to promote our library services at the Life Center, and we've had lots of interest. So she will go the first and third Tuesday of the month from 11:15 to 12:30, and it's built into the schedule. So we know she's going to be gone. They know she's coming. So we think the numbers will prove that that was a really good idea for us to do. And the folks that can't get to the library can still check out because we're hauling materials. And we'll bring, if they have requests, we pull them off the shelf and bring them down. So it's worked out really well.
Kathy, could we also send your IT guy over there? I know people my age and older.
We did. We did for 12 weeks from January till the end of April. And we didn't have a lot of movement, but what we decided to do with them is that if they have an issue, to call the library in Tama, either go down or they can come down and we will book an appointment with them. So we didn't have a lot of foot traffic, so we kind of tried it. We're going to try it this way this month. We we had a booth at the Green Goddess Farmers Market and Seedling Sale. It rained. Just so you know, it rained almost all day, and it was really cold, and cold weather is just hard for me. Anyways, we had 77 people stop by our booth. We had a $1 cart of books out, and we sold $5 worth of books, and we had tons of interest in summer reading, and what did we offer, and can they get on a computer? So we feel we reached out to a lot of folks that probably wouldn't have seen us since we're not usually open on a Sunday. So we were underneath the porch. Poor Parks and Rec was right next to us, and they were soaked, but we were dry. So it was interesting, and we're glad we attended. And they'll have one in October, and I've asked if we could be in that too. I attended the Library School Journal Spring Book Author Festival, it's virtual, where they bring authors in and they actually talk about the process of how they got to the end result of their books, and it's really beneficial to me and to my staff that we watch that, because we can really speak to the book then and not just say, yeah, this is a good book and Amazon says this review. We can actually have some knowledge about the authors and stuff, so that I really enjoyed. We held 3 class tours, Jessica, Lily, Magdalena, and I. We had over 175 students. We did stations. I did the craft in the meeting room. One of the aides did the Pokemon scavenger hunt that we had hung up all month, and that was hugely popular. And then Magdalena took care of the tour and gave them a background to the book drop and all of that kind of stuff. So it worked really well. We got some really nice thank you notes. So we hope that we can increase that next year. I attended the department head meeting this month. We are in the agenda. I'm going to talk to you about the food and drink policy, and then also about closing early. So that's my report until we go into the next part of that.
I appreciate that, Kathy. I just wanted to highlight or ask a question about the hoopla thing. You had mentioned to me that one of the concerns that you'd had was how the public would
Yes,
handle that.
yeah, I
And then
should-
you
yeah.
had talked to me a little bit about some of the comments that you'd received.
Yeah.
Would you?
We did. We received 3, 2 on social media and 1 on our website, and they were all positive. All 3 of them said in one way or another, thank you for the notice, because we had put the notice across the website and we blasted it out in social media on our Facebook page and such. And we only had 3 comments, and they were all positive. They were just thankful that we let them know that we were changing those caps, and we didn't know what to expect, and so we were pleasantly surprised. And I kept those in a document, so I would keep all that hoopla information together. So I think we're going to be okay.
And everyone I talked to at the high school was in lots of support.
Great, thank you.
Nobody had any negative,
Yep.
and those teachers use it all the time.
As we want them to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As do my students, and so that encourages me on a couple of levels. It sounds like the interventions are working, but it also sounds like your communication mechanism is
Yeah.
working too, so that's good.
Thank you.
the data.
All right, so we can move on to setting the date and time of the regular library board meeting. It looks like we're set for June 26, 2025 at 3. Does anybody have any issue with that date?
I do. Actually, it's my parents' 50th anniversary in Colorado, so I won't be here for that.
Does anybody else have any issue with that date? I think we'll still have a quorum, so you can just take a much-earned respite and enjoy your family. Thanks, Sari. And we'll keep it as it is. All right, so we'll move on to new business. Consideration and possible action regarding the approval of a revision to the computer use policy to prohibit the presence or consumption of food or beverages near the public computers.
This is a threefold type of thing. We are cleaning up spills daily, sticky spills from Monster drinks and sodas and sticky stuff. So the custodial staff has spoke to me several times about what a mess that is for them to clean the keyboards and keep the area clean. My staff is having to spend a lot of time wiping up stuff that doesn't really need to be at the computer. I have asked staff and directed staff to kind of have them eat at the 4 big tables so we can kind of control, clean it up, have trash cans, and it seems to be working really well. The third thing is we have ants. We have lots of ants, and I know it's this time of year, but they are crazy over there on the computers because of all the stuff that's getting eaten over there. Yesterday, we missed a patron with a bag of really salty chips, and we had salt all over the computer yesterday. This morning, the custodial staff told me, so I would really like to just not have them have anything at the computers and control it with those 4 big tables that we have plenty of space with. I don't really know that a lot of people need to eat when they come to a library, but some folks feel they need to. So I would really just like no food and drink at the computer stations, just to save the keyboards and the mess and the ants. Not to save them, but.
Kathy, I've seen like kids with stuff that I wouldn't want them eating in my front room.
Yeah,
Is this something that you would like to have no food at all?
no.
No, just
No,
on the computers?
No, because we want to be able to do some food crafts.
Okay.
And then if I say, you can't bring food, but I can serve food crafts, that's kind of, I didn't want to do that. I just want them not to have it at those 2 tables, at the 2 computer stations, because it's just, like I cleaned up a Monster drink yesterday, and it's messy, and there's no reason for it when it could be on a big table, and we have the space for it, so. But thank you for asking.
Do you need a motion on that?
It's going into our policy.
Okay.
On our computer use policy, I think it's number 8 now. So we would need to be able to, yes, you would have to approve to get it, to get the policy changed.
I'd like to make a motion to approve. I support this 100%. No food or beverages near the public computers.
I appreciate that motion, Sue. Before we take that part on, is there anybody else that has any questions or discussion points that they needed to address with this? Seems pretty straightforward. Okay, so we're good. So we have a motion on the table from Sue. Is there anybody that would like to make a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Sari. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. The motion carries. Thank you so much for that. Second item of new business, consideration and possible action regarding approval to close the Churchill County Library at 4 p.m. on August 8th, 2025, to allow staff time to set up for the Books, Bites, and Beverages fundraiser.
So I wasn't here last year for it, but from the stories I've heard, it was quite chaotic, and I don't work in chaos very well, so since I'm gonna have to help with it, I'd like to be able to close the library just 2 hours. We're bringing in tables from the museum, we're moving all the DVD stacks, we're rearranging the library to have the 6 stations for the books and the wine and all of the food and all of that. And they were open last year until 6, and then they started letting folks in at 6, and it was just a huge mess. So the CLA had asked me at the last meeting if I would ask if we could close the library just at 4 for that day, so the tables can come in and we can not be rushing and trying to get people out. We had kids that wanted to eat some of the food, and it was just chaos. And I would really,
They didn't want to drink the wine, did they?
As calm, as quiet as it can be. So if you guys would approve, it would just be, and we'll put signs up. It'll be on social media. It'll be on our website. And it's just that one day for the actual fundraiser.
It seems pretty straightforward, and it being in August, that gives us plenty of time to push information out. So I have no problem. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? Okay, so I'd entertain a motion on that item too.
I'll make a motion to pass the closing the library early on August 8th, closing it at 4 p.m.
Thank you, Sari. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Sue. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. The motion carries. All right, so it is time to have consideration and possible action regarding the approval of the monthly budget reports for April 2025. Does anybody have any discussion or questions on those? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the monthly budget reports for April 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the monthly budget reports for April 2025 as submitted.
Thanks, Ryan. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Sue. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, the motion carries. And next, same, consideration and possible action regarding the approval of the library gift fund report for April 2025. Any questions or discussion on this item? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the library gift fund report for April 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the library gift fund report for April 2025.
Thank you, Sari. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Sue. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. The motion carries. All right, so we are to the presentation by Jay Hodnett, Children's Services Librarian, regarding her role at the library.
Jay, are you here?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to tell you about the programs and other services that I facilitate at the library. And I do have a PowerPoint. I'm just going to get into it if...
Is there a reason she couldn't be here? Kathy, is there a reason? Oh, she's remote. Okay. I'm like, okay.
Okay, I'm just going to jump into it. And if the presentation comes on, then that will be great. First is a program I wanted to tell you about that I have wanted to do ever since I started in libraries, and that's Elementary Book Club. And I noticed working in libraries that 3rd to 5th grade is when kids start having a lot of other activities that can take them away from reading, and reading just becomes less cool. So I wanted to catch kids in this age group and get them thinking critically while they're still excited about reading. And we happened to get a donation of books from United Way in 2023. And when I realized it was multiple copies of the same book, I grabbed that opportunity. And in September, this September, we'll celebrate 2 years. And we still have some of the original participants. So that really makes me happy. We used all the donated books, but the CLA has opted to fund it going forward. And I was also really gratified that the kids were okay with going online because of my health right now. Can't be in the library. So they wanted to meet online instead of not meeting at all. So that really filled me with joy. I'm so excited about these kids and their reading. Some of the books that we're reading, My Side of the Mountain, Because of the Rabbit, Lemonade War, The Phantom Tollbooth. I let the kids choose these books. So we get a really good mix of old and new and graphic novel titles. Another really important program for the library is the Teen Library Club. And this core group of 5 teens helps me order young adult books and provide teen and children's programmings. And they're all really busy with school and activities and helping their families. So I really value their time helping me out with the teen books and programs. One of our staple programs is Storytime, which we have 3 times per week, averaging about 23 kids at each program. Magdalena has wonderfully taken on these in-person story times since I can't be in the building, and I added a Saturday virtual story time I can do from home. We've had a lot of parents ask for a weekend story time, so it was nice to be able to add this program without an added strain on staff. Saturdays are usually a low staff day. And again, I was so happy parents were willing to try an online program because I did not want to give up story time completely. Every Friday we have STEAM, and it's geared toward ages 6 to 11, but older and younger children regularly participate, and we have an average about 20 children attend. Every week there are a variety of activities to choose from, and we often have special projects depending on the time of year and the children's requests. Every second Thursday of the month is Reading with Rover, a program that is aimed at readers age 6 to 11 as well, but really helpful for reluctant readers of all ages. We're really lucky to have an established group of dog handlers with their therapy dogs who love to be read to. So participants who read to the therapy dogs have a variety of books to choose from, and they get to keep the book when they're done. Books for Babies is a more passive program that the CLA has been doing for quite a long time. We partner with Banner Churchill to make sure new parents know about the resources that we have at the library. Maternity staff at the hospital hand out our gift bags, which include a onesie and information about getting a library card and 1,000 books before kindergarten and other library resources. And new parents are also invited to come into the library for a free book. One of the new programs that took off even more quickly than I had anticipated or hoped is our seed library. And library visitors can take up to 5 seed packets to try growing those seeds at home. If the plants grow and produce seed, they can bring the seed back to us at the end of the season. In the fall, we gave out about an average of 145 seed packets a month, so it was very popular. And use of the seed library leveled off during the winter, but patrons are already talking about what seeds they might try as the weather warms up, and we're working toward a self-sustaining library of Fallon-proven seeds and have some really amazing native plants like basin wild rye. In the spring, we start scheduling classroom visits, as Kathy was talking about, for area 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade classes. Students get a tour of the library, do a craft, and do some other games. And this is also a great promotion for our summer reading program. They're usually coinciding right when pre-registration opens for summer reading. And the students get to decorate a folder to take home with all the information about summer reading and other programs they can be involved in. Summer reading program is probably our most known program, and I'm responsible for the 0 to 5, 6 to 11, and 12 to 17 age groups. Magdalena wonderfully took on the adult age group when she came on. Of course, because so much goes into it, we start prepping summer reading in February. It's scheduling programs, ordering giveaway books and prizes, and I make sure all the marketing materials are ready so that volunteers can start packing our registration bags in May, which they've already, I think they're halfway done at this point. I also make sure our online registration is ready to go so people can start pre-registering. They started pre-registering on May 20th, and we already have about 55 people signed up. And the program will officially start with our kickoff on June 7th. And participants can track their reading online or on paper, and we already have a lot of really fun programs lined up for this year as well. New this year are year-round reading challenges for every age. Magdalena started with an adult reading challenge, and I added one for elementary and one for teens. And we also have 1,000 books before kindergarten for those who are age 0 to 5. These challenges are available through Beanstack, which is the same app we use to track summer reading. And outside of summer reading, we have wonderful programs throughout the year, which I use to highlight our collection as much as possible. For instance, in April 2024, we had Nevada Department of Wildlife present their Batty for Bats program, which coincided with us getting a bat pack donated. The bat pack includes numerous activities to acquaint children with bats, so instead of being afraid of them, they understand the bat's critical importance in our ecosystem. We also welcomed Walker Basin Conservancy to talk about seed saving as we launched the seed library, and patrons are already asking if we can repeat that program this year. And then 4-H had Living with Fire, a program designed to help children understand wildfire concepts like defensible space. And last year in August, I was excited to present a homeschool workshop giving area homeschool parents a look at what the library has to offer as far as resources. And since that workshop, I keep in touch with these parents monthly, letting them know what's new, including a new page on our website and phonics kits they can check out, which have been really popular. In October, we had a really great program with Rachel McAnder from the Borough of Mines about different rocks. We have in Nevada, and I'm really excited that she will be back for summer reading to talk about the color of rocks, in keeping with our summer reading program theme, which is Color Our World. To make sure the community knows about our programs and resources, I also do the library's calendar and social media. I love highlighting new books and designing graphics and videos to show off our collections and programs. My other major job is collection development, making sure we have relevant books and media in the library. With the help of a wonderful volunteer, we just completed a major weeding of the children's books, so we have room for the new books that are coming in. I am in charge of ordering and weeding for the Easy Picture, Easy Reader, Juvenile, and Young Adult sections. Luckily, all my teen library club members are active readers, and they can really tell me all kinds of sections to order books for, not just teen. And before I wrap up, I wanted to mention some special collections that we have. This first is our collection of community science backpacks, and I love letting people of all ages know about community science, which is just everyday people submitting data for scientists to use. One of the oldest and most known community science projects is the Audubon's Christmas bird count, where people all over the country submit bird sightings, and scientists have used the information to track migrations and overall populations for more than 100 years. So that's kind of what community science is. We have a junior naturalist backpack, which can be used on a hike or in the backyard to identify flora and fauna, and it has a bug catcher in it, which is definitely the star of this backpack. Mm-hmm. And we have the bat pack that I mentioned, and we also have a night sky telescope backpack with a telescope in it that people can check out. And the very last special collection I'm so proud of is our Books by Storytimers. This collection started with Oliver Boom, one of our regular Storytime patrons, who wrote a book about jellyfish and thought maybe it could be put in the library. And with the addition of Connor Gauss's graphic novel about a moon rover and a partnership with the museum to bind the books, we now have 2 of these wonderful additions to our collection. So thank you so much, and let me know if you have any questions.
I do. I'd like to reach out and take that 8. We have 1,400 students, well, maybe 1,600 in Churchill County from 7th to 12th grade. We have a back to school, I'm not doing the big one at Rafter, but we have an open house August 21st. I'd like to invite you and let me help you build those numbers. Because when I walk in the library at the high school, the same 20 kids are in there and they're like this, you know. I would love to help build that number.
Thank you.
I appreciate the presentation, Jay. There are so many things that are going on that you are strategizing. And I think the other thing that I'm really appreciating from this is that in getting to have the presentation this way, we get to see how technology can connect many of our patrons here in the county. There are many people that can't make it to the library as frequently, and this is something that can allow them some access and a lot of opportunity to learn. So this is a rich program, and I really appreciate your work on doing it.
Great presentation, thank you.
Those were the fun things she does. I also have her being trained on how to do payroll and billing, staffing, scheduling, all of the stuff that I do. So she gets to do that virtually with me every morning at 7:30. So she definitely has her plate full and manages it all. I'll say, hey, what do you think about this? And she'll be like, sure, we can do that. And she'll get out her tablet of paper and she writes it down and it shows up in my inbox. So it works really well. She's amazing.
I also wanted to say, I'm sorry, Jay, I can't see your face, so I get kind of weirded out. But I wanted to send a thank you of sending out the emails. My son is on the teen book club, and it's so nice being reminded once a month because as a parent, things happen, and I get forgetful. Thank you.
There she
Thank
is.
you. So thank you so much for sending out the emails so we know when it is and what's going on.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much, Jay. This has been a fantastic presentation, and I think our public that are watching the stream today too have had a lot from this. So thank you so much for the effort. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so the next item is consideration and possible action regarding the update on the strategic plan survey and timeline for the survey to be used in developing goals and a mission statement for the Churchill County Library.
So we had the survey out for 3 weeks. We got 90, 70, 92 results, responses, and I put, Crystal emailed you a goal and then what the survey said. So we're now going to meet with the strategic plan committee and break down what exactly those goals will match with that, with the comments and the data that we have. That the email that you got with the document is just an update that the survey's done. We're looking at some stuff. We're talking about it as a staff. We're trying to figure out how we're going to move forward. So I hope in June, I will have in June an updated document so you kind of can see where we're at and what we're doing, and then hopefully you'll adopt the actual strategic plan for the next 5 years after we're done in June with any more cleanups that we need to do, so.
Does anybody have any questions or discussion on this item?
I do, just a little. I read through the survey, and first off, did the survey align with your goals, do you think?
I think so.
Okay,
good.
good.
I think pretty closely. There's some tweaks that we need to do now that we've got information from the public, and maybe we were thinking the public wanted this and now they really want this. So we're going to kind of go back and look at that again with the strategic plan committee. It's not my strategic plan, it's ours.
Right.
So I want to make sure everybody's okay with it and what it looks like. So then we literally can, when we adopt it, start keeping track of that we met goal 1 and we met goal 2. But yeah, I think it matched pretty well. I was really pleased. Jay put the whole thing together. She sent it to me, I'd read it, I'd send it back, we'd send it to the committee. And so, yeah, I think we did pretty well. You don't know what to expect and you don't know what the comments are going to be, so I was really pleased with it.
I know you wanted the strategic plan to be like a 5-year block. I was wondering if a number of patrons came to you and said, this isn't really working, could you do this? Could you kind of manipulate the strategic plan throughout the years, I'm guessing, because sometimes stuff changes and...
You mean change it from a 5-year to a different year?
No, not change it from, maybe I'm getting my information wrong, but like if somebody came up to you and said, oh man, I had this one idea, and say it was a number of people that came up to you, is there any way, I guess what I'm asking is, once the strategic plan is set, is it set in stone? No going back?
I don't think so.
Okay, all
I
right.
think that I would take it back to the committee, or I take it back to the library board here and say, you know, look, this has changed. Like, we have to be flexible and we have to be very aware of what our community needs, or we're not going to be relevant. And I think that's really important. That's an important piece. So I don't think it's set in stone. I think it's a document that helps us get to where we need to go and what it needs to look like. But I don't think it's that we only can do it this way. I think, as you see, we change, like we do different things all the time till we figure out what works and what fits well. So.
Okay, thank you.
Well, and to add into what Kathy is saying, I mean, in a strategic planning process, you're trying to articulate your focal points for a period of time so that you can then gather data and assess how you're doing with that. And part of that is you will be coming back to that frequently, yearly, to kind of see how you're doing and nudge and adjust and course correct as needed. Many of the initiatives that might come from a public venue can be handled here in these board meetings and would take a motion to start to do. And the strategic plan is often how we evaluate the success of our mission and how we are at reaching that. If there was something that were to arise that was mission critical that we needed to address, we could special meeting that and incorporate it in without having to change an entire strategic plan. So there's lots of mechanisms to do it. That's a great question. Does anybody else have questions?
I do, yeah. Do you have any plans to do future surveys, I don't know, maybe annually, to kind of assess, you know, how people are continuing to feel?
I'd like to go back and revisit that when we've done everything for a year. And next October, we look at, did the VR demos work well? Did sending Tom to the Life Center work well? What really worked? What stuck? What was a mess and didn't happen? Like, we've already talked about how to increase the bookmark contest next year for homeschoolers and for the academy. And so we're looking at all of that. I hope that answered your question. I think we need a year of figuring stuff out. And so October, we'll look at it again and think, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Nope, that did not work. And I'm okay with that. Like,
That does sound good.
Yeah.
I was just
Okay.
curious what
Yeah.
kind of your assessment plan is.
Yeah, I think that's what
and
we're gonna
that
do. We
sounds
talk a
good.
lot as a staff. We talk all the time about, what do you think about this, and what do you think about that? I need to have buy-in from the staff for any of this to work, right? Like, it's not me, so I think it's important that the staff is invested in it, so I want them to have some say. Ultimately, it's my decision, but I also need for them to be okay with it too, for it to be successful in some points.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions or discussion points on this?
I'm just going to comment on Sari's comment of bringing things back to if you have the library patrons that have ideas. I think ideas are great. I think they should go to Kathy, but I don't feel that we should be going back to the board, or Kathy should be coming back to the board every month with ideas to update the plan. It should be the plan. We're doing a 5-year plan, so we should, unless, I think I agree with Jessica that if it's mission critical and we have to change it, I think then we come back and we consider changing it. But I think that's why we have a committee, and that's why we're working on towards doing a 5-year plan. And then in that next 5 years, Kathy will have all that information that she's gathered over the 5 years that she can bring to the next board, whoever's on the board. And then that's how I feel. Just so it's not really like a fluid document where we change it all the time. Mm-hmm. It's a 5-year, it's our 5-year plan to.
I agree with Ryan wholeheartedly. I have never been in the library where I said, hey, what do you think about this? And they're all over it. Yeah, We don't have to change a strategic plan with an idea. And I can tell you, the input that I hear, and I hear a lot, you guys are kicking, you know what?
Oh, good.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of everything that you and your team have accomplished.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And so I'm thinking,
That's a good thing.
you know, that with something like this strategic plan, one of the things that I'm appreciating is the intentionality of the process. And that's what we're working to support today. We'll have a good report in June on the results of that process. I think that because it's going to be a 5-year plan, that we are using this to evaluate our success, we're using this to articulate our focal points and our mission, that spending the time to talk to all of the different stakeholders and to put out that information and to process the data from our public is really, really important in the build of the plan. And then we can look at the plan and approve that then when all of that information is in. But this kind of measured and considered approach is really, really helpful as we build it. And then we can go from there. I think you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Do you need another motion from us on supporting the process since we have already done so?
I don't think so.
All right, so I think that the consideration of that update and that information was absolutely wonderful, and we'll look forward to June. Okay, so the last item of business, consideration and possible action regarding discussion about hoopla costs and caps.
Well, I shared with you with the numbers, I really believe that maybe with another tweak, or maybe we just leave it alone for the summer. You know, the new budget will come out July 1. We'll have some money in the budget to do that with, and we have some money in the hoopla account already. Maybe we just ride it for the summer and see what it does. It's not exploding like it was in March, which was really uncomfortable for me. And maybe we just decide in September that these caps and this number of checkouts is going to work for Churchill County. Maybe that's just what we decide to do. We had a lady call the other day from another county and wanted to know if she could get a library card so she could use hoopla, and I very nicely said no. Because you can't. Because I'm paying for Churchill County stuff, not Lyon County. So it's a very popular service, and I don't want it to go away. But I also knew it wasn't sustainable long term. So we all came to an agreement, or figured out some numbers, and we met with hoopla a lot. The rep there, in fact, they know us by first name now, and we're on speed dial practically because Jay and I chatted with them a lot. I think we're comfortable. I think we're going in the right direction, and I think we just are going to have to get some data to see if that decision was what we really needed to do. But I do really feel it's much better than it was.
Do we have any questions or discussion on this one that we want to be?
I have a comment. I'm just excited that we are waiting till September because I know summer months, it's fun to rent out the audio DVD, or not the audio DVDs, but over the internet, the audio books over in the internet to listen while you're flying places or traveling places. So I think it's a good way to assess how much people use it during the summertime, and we've already kind of got a preview of springtime, so I think this will help us a lot.
Yeah, like Sari, I appreciate that your plan to put it into action as you have done and then watch it over the period of time gives you a lot of time to gather data and make adjustments as needed. So if anything else goes pear-shaped,
Yep.
you'll know.
7 a.m. every morning I log on and I look at the number and I write it down, and at noon I look at it, and at 5 I look at it, and I'm like, oh, I can sleep now. It's okay. I'm not going to die of diabetes. I'm going to die of hoopla.
We really hope not.
I know, me too. Thank you,
Well,
though.
do you need a motion from us
I
to
don't think
proceed?
so.
I don't believe that we do.
I don't think so.
All right.
It was just an informational, because I said I would bring it back to you.
That is excellent, and I think that we are all supportive of that.
Thank you.
So, moving on to public comment, this is our chance for a second public comment. Is there anyone that would like to make one during this meeting? Hearing none, I'll move to adjourn. Thank you.
I love these book cards. Oh, my God. I know where I'm put.